Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is I have a real beef with with um, with Boricuas. Now, for those who don't know what a Boricua is that these are the very people that are from what is called Puerto Rico. They are the actual descendants of the land. Many people would call them Taino, but for the most part, we've used this word Boricua to describe not only those Taínos, but hopefully those Africans along with Europeans. But the funny thing is that we praise and hold up these Europeans and Taínos, and yet many Taínos, I mean, within a 50, 60-year period, they were all wiped out of the island when the invaders, the white man, came to the island and started doing their business, which was to basically not give anything to the island, but to only take from not only the people, but the resources of that island. Now, when I was growing up, Boricua, Boricuas used to kill me, uh, thinking that they were, they didn't feel that they were of any, racial coloring of any kind. That kind of tripped me out when I was a kid because every time we what's it called, identify ourselves, we see we don't see color, we see island. It's like, hey, it's like, oh, I ain't black, I'm Puerto Rican. I mean, when someone's telling you that your race is black, that you look apparently African, then that's what they're talking about usually, because you're trying to mask what they see. And that's what's been tripping me out about, Boricuas from the day. I mean, shit, I was born in '74, so I mean, being raised in the projects, that many Boricuas when I was coming up, they were so wrapped up into the culture, but yet not know the culture. They don't realize that it was a great many Africans that were brought to the island. Of course, you would think they were slaves, but these were Africans that were brought to the island to make the economy of that island prosperous to not the people of the island, but to Spain. I mean, when you think about it, it's amazing how when you don't know as much as you think you know about history regarding Puerto Rico or any type history, it's amazing how people, they'll throw up the flag, they'll they'll find themselves, talking louder. They'll find themselves eating more rice and beans. They'll find themselves talking a lot of shit about how, blacks in America do this and how blacks in America do that, but yet they don't find themselves building for themselves as Puerto Ricans. It's like if you go to East Harlem, I'm from Brooklyn, but when you go to East Harlem, hell, when you go to Brooklyn, you'll find that there are many Boricuas that don't look like Jennifer Lopez. There are many Boricuas that don't appear like, to be Mark Anthony or what have you. I mean, even myself. I mean, my mom's doesn't look like me at all. A nice black skinned woman. My father, of course, he was a little lighter, but even his parents were mixed. I mean, well, excuse me, not even mixed. I hate using that word. It's just so stupid. I mean, you mix drinks, you don't mix people. I think, like I said, when I talk in my videos, I know that blacks have given all to all races for the most part. When you think about, the creation of everything, it's of black people and then everything below that. That's plainly it. What other race can create other races? I don't know of any races other than black people to create every other race. But don't take my word for it. I mean, you could read. You could actually look at pictures. You could actually look within your own families as Boricuas. You're gonna find that people are different. I would think. I mean, my family, they're very different within the same family, and of course, sometimes you get some people outside the family. But for the most part, within the family, they're very different. And different doesn't mean, deficient. It really means that as Boricuas, many have different cultural or racial aspects of their lineage. Some people say, "Oh yeah, I'm from Spain." Yeah, they can't tell me one fucking city from Spain. They couldn't tell me what the hell the drink of the land would be, or what have you, what certain customs and courtesies would be of that area. Some people are just full of shit when it comes to understanding something else, because they feel that, of course, white is right. All our lives, as Boricuas, as Africans, I mean, throughout the diaspora, we have been trained to believe, conditioned to believe that everything else beyond beyond white, beyond black is is of no use. You know, every issue, as long as it's white, it's all that you need to understand the world. Black people have never given anything to anything. Whites, of course, have given everything to everyone, which is a bunch of horse shit, but people believe it. Uh, I'm very well educated, but for the most part, this is just my gripe. I mean, I could find myself, pointing at certain books and extracting certain information from certain books and all, I mean, authors and what have you, but I won't do that tonight because I know that speaking from the heart, I mean, the primary testimony or primary resource, which is not only what I know, but what I've experienced. I mean, I grew up in one of the harder uh, project areas in Brooklyn. I mean, which was Coney Island. And for anyone who's ever lived in the projects, for anyone who's ever lived black, would know that it's really tough. Of course, me, I was able to slip through the cracks, but I never wanted to find myself forgetting who I am. So, as a Boricua, as an Afro-borinqueno, I know that it's hard to understand that what black people have given because it's not something that's projected as well as it should be. But it's up to you to find as Boricuas. So big up my Boricuas. Please learn more about yourself so that you can teach your children to understand who they are as, excuse me, within the totality of who they are. You know, whether it's Taino, African, European, we've already big up those, as far as Taino and European. What we have to big up is African. There's too much of that, or excuse me, too much of black culture in our in within the land. So try to put yourself in that position. And big ups to Africa. Peace.